All of our consultants and guests and hostesses and hosts in Australia at 8 at Brisbane time, 9 in Victoria, and I don't know everyone else's time zone. Oh, Perth, I think it's a little bit earlier for you. So welcome. I know that you're enjoying some nice warm weather over there. Kind of mixed here in Florida. I don't know what we're supposed to get. I'm used to Canadian cold weather and Australian hot weather over the holidays, because Florida's kind of in between. So welcome to any of our Americans or Canadians that are up at crazy hours this morning. So welcome to you, and to those of you who are watching it later today on the recorded version. And to welcome to our UK consultants as well. I know that you are, I think, about mid or late morning. And I think New Zealand is possibly 11 o'clock at night. So we've got all crazy time zones. At least we're all on the same day. That's the one thing about doing a video for first thing in the morning. I think we're all on the same day here. So, well, let's get started. A little bit of fun holiday entertaining. We call it YIAH style, but I guess it's kind of my simple ways, fun ways, unique ways to do some holiday things this year. And one of the things that we've been studying, and we watch and we are looking for trends, and we set trends as well, is the whole rage about artisan cocktails and artisan sodas, and really what YIAH does in the food, and then now it's taking into the beverages. So I thought I'd share with you some of the hot new trends, some of the things I've made up, some of the things I've been inspired by in artisan sodas, shrubs, and the wonderful agua fresca from Mexico. So I'll share with you those as well, and just some quick I can smell that oil there. Just some quick, easy appetizers as well that you can enjoy for something a little different, something international with your inspiration at home. So let's get started. First of all, I know that many of you have our flyer. We were really prepared this time and had the flyer out earlier for you. And also Kylie has the recipes, so I'm not sure if she's loaded them up yet, but they'll be loaded very quickly today. So, as always, with your inspiration at home, there's many ways to save at a mega demo. And the first one is, of course, as a customer. You can choose to purchase one of 3 packs, one of 2 packs if you're in North America, and one of 3 packs in Australia and New Zealand. So pack number 1 is the Tuscan style capsicum pesto dip mix, Mediterranean dukkha, Black Forest dukkha, all for only $40.39 in Australia, USA, and Canada, $42.64 in New Zealand, and $25.39 in the UK. That's all still good. I'm going to talk about pack number 2, pack number 3, and the very best way to save is by being a hostess, and of course the very best way to save and earn some money by being a consultant. So I'll get to that a little bit later. Let's get started. You know the tradition. We got to start with a drink, all right? Just like at any party, you're going to start with a drink. I'm going to choose eggnog, because being Canadian, it is absolutely a tradition in Canada to have an eggnog. Now, I know that I've seen eggnog in Australia and of course in the US as well. I've done a little research on eggnog, and it's actually British. So yay the Brits. And what it is pre-18th century, and what they say historically, that eggnog is the term nog meant a strong brew, strong beer, strong ale. And what they did was they put it with milk and egg. So that's where you get nog and eggnog. And of course, in the 18th century it became very popular, and they started adding spices to it, and rum, of course. So I'm going to do a Puerto Rican. We're traveling around the world. Last year we did a martini, eggnog martini. This time we're going to do a Puerto Rican eggnog. I'm just going to turn this down. can tell it's quite hot. Puerto Rican eggnog. So I'm going to make it from scratch. Really easy. A couple egg whites. Now the recipe is for 4 or 5 cups. I'm just going to do a quick and easy one here. Now I pre-measured these. So a couple of egg yolks, some sweetened condensed milk. We're going to get that sugars going, really great for the start of this video. All right, now of course if you're concerned about having raw egg, this is not the drink for you. All right, I always want to make sure those people who are watching those types of things, you just need to be careful on that. And coconut milk. Now what I've noticed here in the US, we have coconut milk that comes in a carton, and we choose to drink that, or almond milk at our house. Lactose is not our friend. Okay, so we've got coconut milk, we've got evaporate or condensed milk, we've got egg. Let me just check my recipe. I'm not missing anything because I know what I'm going to add next. And I'm going to add about a teaspoon. Oh, I do have a spoon. I won't do my normal measuring just so everyone else thinks, yes, they can do that. For this recipe, it's about 3/4 teaspoon. The recipe is about 1.5 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. Now, of course, being Puerto Rican, we got to add the rum, Puerto Rican rum to this. Now, the recipe calls for 2 cups of rum, but we want to finish the video. So I'm only going to put, and that was for 2 cups of rum for a 5-cup recipe. I'm going to put 1/3 of a cup in. I really want to, I've been up quite a bit today, so I don't want to be slurring my words by the end of the video from being tired. And of course the rum. So all I'm going to do, now you can, I beat the eggs just slightly before. And there we go. So I did beat the eggs slightly before that. And there we have a Puerto Rican eggnog. Now, of course, to make it kind of nice and special, we're going to rim the glass with our chai sugar. Okay. So just make a slice in whatever fruit you want to use. You can use lemon, lime, whatever you want. Some chai sugar on the plate, and you can use however you want. There. Give that a swirl around. There we go. And I'm sure there's lots of bartenders that are going, you're not quite doing it all right, but you know what? It works. And there we go. Lovely rimmed chai glass. And some fabulous eggnog. Now, to have the wonderful little topping there. Here we go. How's that for a professional eggnog? There you go. Puerto Rican eggnog. First drink of the show. All right. The next thing is a little bit of appetizers. Now, everyone loves cheese sticks as they're waiting, or cheese bread. So what I've done, it's a really, really simple cheese stick recipe. Now, of course, if you have a bread machine, you can use bread dough from there. Really easy to do. But all this one has, and of course you'll have the recipe there, is a cup of grated cheddar, 3/4 cup plain flour, okay, not self-rising, 1/2 teaspoon of lime cracked pepper salt is what I used in this one. And then I also did a heaped teaspoon of the meze dip. So lime cracked pepper and the meze dip together, both beautiful together. And then just mix that all in with 1/4 cup of butter. And you just want to get it so it's like pea size, mixing it together. The butter needs to be pea size. You don't want to blend it in. You just want to get it so it's crumbly but pea sized. Then you want to add an egg that was been beaten, and you just want to stir it gently. You want to get it all so it's like a dough. And then pull it apart, put half in the fridge while you're working on it, because of the butter in your hands, you're going to melt that up and it's not going to be the very best for you. then just roll it out. And one of the things that I've noticed, if you're hand rolling things, a lot of people go like this, right? What I notice is if I just turn my hand sideways and rolled with the stick, I get a wonderful roll. Just roll it back and forth like this, and a much longer roll there. So 2 different cheese sticks I've given you recipes for. This one is the porcini salt and the stroganoff spice. So, all right, I'm getting told by the cameraman, show them these. These are just really rough and rustic. I'm not as you all know, I'm not a professional chef, so I'm just gonna make it how I make it, and everyone will enjoy it. Now, those would be great for dips. Obviously, you're gonna serve them with the dip. And don't get too close, they'll see how bad they are. But they do taste wonderful. All right, and they're best served warm, if you can do that. All right, now I'm gonna do something really fun, something really easy. I'm sure everyone can do this one at home. What it is bocconcini balls that I've marinated with our Mediterranean olive oil or the Italian Primavera olive oil, either one. And then I've just taken some some cherry tomatoes and one's grape tomatoes. I used 2 different colors, and of course I've marinated them in the caramelized balsamic vinegar. Then you can take a skewer, and I like to go now these are really tiny baby mozzarella or bocconcini balls. And the reason we cut off the top so they get the marinade, the juice of the caramelized balsamic vinegar in there. And also it's easier to eat that way as well. Now you can put it either side like this. Now just get a glass, put them in like this, and you can imagine what several of these look like on your appetizer table if you're doing a buffet. Oh yeah, we're gonna do this one first. So you can, of course, traditionally, the typical flavor that you would be doing with this would be the Roma Italian or the Mediterranean risotto would be great flavors there. See, isn't that cute? How easy is that? And it's a perfect mouthful for an appetizer without having to deal with the plate. Really easy there. All right, so I hope you guys love that. Super easy and full of amazing flavor. Absolutely amazing flavor on those. Let me put those aside so I don't get confused with what I'm doing next. All right, now something new for me. I've never done this, and I've eaten them. Thought they were intriguing, and also watched, I think the 2, I don't remember their names, the 2 motorcycle guys in the UK do an amazing Scotch eggs. So I thought, you know what, reading the recipes and eating them, we can YIAH these. So what I did, instead of pork, I thought, well, for Christmas, I think turkey sausage would be pretty cool. So I did turkey sausage. Well, actually just ground turkey. That's all you need. I spoke to the butcher and he said, really, you don't need to have a sausage and break it apart. Just get the ground or the mince turkey and season it. And exactly what I was going to do. So I want to make sure I have it all. Okay. So first of all, it's all in the preparation of the egg. That is the most important thing when you're doing Scotch eggs, because you don't want it completely dry and solid like a normal boiled egg. Okay, so I just set one aside because I made some earlier. As those of you who've been on Facebook, you'll know. In here, what I've done is it's just ground turkey. It is, I've used prairie poultry in it. The egg, now let me tell you about the egg. So you take I did 6 whole eggs in cold water, okay? Then you bring them up to boil you put them in a pan, bring them up to boil, and then you quickly take them out. All right, and you let them. You let them remove from. You take, as soon as it gets to boil, you take it away from the heat, and you let them sit for 6 minutes, and then you put them in ice water. They need to go into the ice water so they're not completely dried out. And if you see these eggs here, you get that. The cooked egg on the outside. On the inside, you can still see that it's nice and moist. Not quite runny, but nice and moist inside of the egg. So here at the part that I thought was going to be hard, because of course this is my first time making Scotch eggs, but I wanted to YIAH them. So it's pretty easy. You just take your mince and you coat your egg. I towel dry them, like just take a little paper towel, pat them dry, the eggs, because you don't want them really slippery so that the meat won't stay on. But see how easy that is? Pretty easy. You've got a nice, good, solid egg on there. So here's one I prepared earlier as well. I just want to show you how easy that was. All right. Then what you want to do is you want to have your flour. So this is just plain flour because I've already put, for me, this one is, and what you want to do is you want to put them aside in the fridge because you want them to kind of settle a little bit while you're going to be working with them. Okay. Then you're going to flour the egg. And I've got little containers here. Normally I do it in a big bowl, but let's see if I can do this. I might just dump it on here. Normally I have a bowl, and there we go. So you're going to flour the egg. And then you're going to dip that into a beaten egg. All right. Beaten egg there. So you're going to dip in there and get it. Oh, I know it's going to be really hard in this little tiny. There we go. And then I'm going from the egg wash into, and again, I'm going to get a different bowl because it's going to be too hard with this part here. All right. Okay, and in here I've got panko breadcrumbs and, just for something different, a little bit of Mediterranean dukkha. So it's going to be quite an interesting Scotch egg, and I know our friends in the UK are watching me going, oh, how could you do that? What I did in the turkey mince as well, instead of the normal ingredients, I added caramelized balsamic vinegar. Okay, so that's something different in there. It gives a nice sweet flavor. I put a little bit of mustard in there as well. And you can do a bit of barbecue flavor. So there's a lot of different flavors you can do with this one. I would suggest trying Louisiana Creole in the turkey mince or the smokehouse barbecue to give it a really lovely flavor. And then you just pop it into your oil. Now, I have no idea how hot this has gotten while I've been sitting there. Oh, perfect. Pop it into your oil. It's going to brown fairly quickly because you want it nice, warm, nice hot oil. And you're going to cook it for 7 minutes. Okay? Look at how lovely that's looking. All right. So that is a bit warm. I'm going to turn it off so that we can enjoy the rest of the video. But that's how quick, how easy it is to make Scotch eggs. All right, let it bubble away there. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Now let me tell you about the pack number 2. Pack number 2 is some of the products that we're featuring here. at the mega demo for the holiday. And pack number 2 is the Thai green curry dip mix, the Thai satay spice, lemon myrtle white chocolate dukkha with cranberries. And that pack is only $36.64 for Australia, US, and Canada, and $38.89 for New Zealand, $23.14 for the UK. Now, one of the best ways, and that's 25% off. So already that's a huge saving. Would you agree? So when you're a host, hosting an event, hosting one of our mega demos, you also get to purchase that at half of that price. Half of the sale price. So you get a really, really good deal. All right, if you want to just look at that, I'm going to check on those lattes. All right, that looks fantastic. Bubbling away. Perfect. Okay. Okay, now, where are we? We are going on to the Thai fish cakes. Thai fish cakes. This one blew me away. I love fish cakes. I love crab cakes. And for us on Christmas Eve is all about fish. We love to have our fish on Christmas Eve. So when I used to live in Saskatchewan, well, when I moved from Saskatchewan, my parents still lived there. And one of the things I used to do flying from Victoria was way back before you weren't allowed to take liquids on planes and all of that security stuff. But we used to get fresh live crab, fresh shellfish, salmon right off the boats, and get on the plane from Victoria and get over to Saskatchewan within a couple of hours. So they were still live in their styrofoam coolers. So this was really a big deal. So it's always been tradition as far as I can remember that Christmas Eve is seafood. Last year we did something a little bit different. We threw in some Peking duck in there, and I know that I've been requested to do the Peking duck again this Christmas Eve. So I thought we'd do something a little different, some Thai fish cakes to celebrate the holidays international. So what we do is we've got a pound. Well, this is an example. The recipe won't work for me in my little blender here with a pound, but white fish. So I've used cod. You can use sole or halibut. Those are all great for this one. So just cut it up rough. It doesn't have to be super fine. Some capsicum. So I've used red capsicum and which is red bell peppers for those of you in the US and Canada watching. And also some spring onions or green onions, as we call them in US and Canada. So what I'm going to add to this is some lime zest. All right, so just a little bit of lime zest. You don't need a lot because there is, of course, lime in our product. Okay, so some lime zest. Let's scrape into there. And a couple of, about a teaspoon. For this size, I do about a good tablespoon. So that's a teaspoon, so we'll go 2 of those. Heaping for a tablespoon of the Thai satay. All right. And then I'm just going to put it in here and blitz that. Ooh, a little bit of ginger and spice there, breathing that in. And again, you would, if you've got a large food processor, of course you'd use the full recipe, but we're just going to use the small one. And you're just going to blitz it. That's it. That's how easy it is to put this together. It takes them, of course, in a big food processor, it will take a few blitzes, but the little one takes a little bit longer. All right. That should be good. Let's have a look. All right, now I'm going to add my fish sauce. Where's that? So for this, normally you're going to add 2 to 2.5 tablespoons. So I'm going to add a couple of teaspoons there into this size. All right, let's give that another blitz. And then we're going to add some breadcrumbs, panko breadcrumbs. All right. So you want it to look somewhat like a paste, not completely. You see that there's still some chunks in there, but because I don't want it to be completely pasty when I'm eating the I still want to have some texture to that. Now I'm only going to add a half a cup of panko breadcrumbs to this. Time to put it in a bowl. But when you're doing the full recipe, of course, you would use up to a cup. You're just going to, for anything that you're doing, that you're adding dry in there, always just go to feel. So even if the recipe says a cup, it's always best to just watch what you're doing and see if that's going to be overshooting the mark. So start with a half a cup, add a little more, and see how it goes there. All right. So we'll start there, half the line in, and just mix those in. You can still do it in your, if you've got a large food processor, you can still put it in there. All right, so we're just mixing those in. And then on another plate, I had one handy. Where did that go? Here it is. Sure need to get a bigger bench, I think, for the next videos. Then what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to sprinkle some more panko breadcrumbs on this plate. But I'm also going to add some Asian dukkha because I love to add the dukkas for a little bit more flavor. Oh, there we are. There we go. And you can use, again, the recipe is provided for how much you want to use on that. Okay, so that's good. That's still forming. Now, when you're doing Thai fish cakes, you don't want them big. Okay, so you want them a little bigger than a meatball. That's it. Okay. All right, so make sure I got everything in there that I wanted. Okay. Then all you do is you just turn it over and you pop it into the hot oil. All right, now that oil's just gone down from being turned off, but that's it. That's how it is, how hard it is, easy it is, I guess, to make Thai fish cakes. I want to say, is there any questions? But of course, I'm sure there's questions on the chat there for everyone. So I'm sure some of our leaders and directors are handling all of those questions and for home office. Okay, let's go on to mussels. As I said, we love shellfish for our holidays. So with that, we're going to do muscles. Now, really quick and easy, I'm going to do a Thai muscle. Of course, you know, the average person might put some herbs and spices. They may just do wine with their mussels. But what we're going to do is we've got wine on here. Okay, so we've just got the mussels in the pot with some Riesling. You can use any type of white wine for that, it doesn't matter at all. And then we're going to do the sauce. So while that's cooking, you don't want to cook them too long. Of course, you want them cooked. Mussels need to pop open for you because those are whole. Again, a little anecdote. Growing up in Victoria, BC, one of the things we used to do at university was on Friday nights, of course, we went to the pub, and it was beer and mussels. So pints of red ale, amber ale, and mussels and or clams, and that was the evening. So now we're a little bit more sophisticated. They weren't just steamed. Now we've got them steamed in wine, and we're going to make a Thai coconut curry. Just really simple. So this is canned coconut milk. So I want a little thicker consistency for this one than for the eggnog. Oh, that eggnog, by the way. I think it's time for a little drink there. So cheers. Fantastic. I certainly wouldn't put the 2 cups of rum in there. Okay, so what we're going to do is the coconut milk, and we're going to make it kind of a little bit of, for me, I want to have a little bit of heat. All right, because of the coconut milk, it's going to take the heat right down of the Thai green curry. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of Thai green curry to this. All right, good sized tablespoons. I've got a little bit more mussels than the recipe requires, so I'm going to add a little bit of extras here. And then I'm going to do a teaspoon. I'm just going to guess what a teaspoon is. So a teaspoon of sriracha, because I want to have that heat. When you combine the sriracha and the Thai green curry, you get very, very similar to a Thai red curry flavor. So that's what we want here. There. And where's that fish sauce? So we're going to put some fish sauce in there. A couple tablespoons of fish sauce. And some lime. Lime juice, about a tablespoon of your lime juice. Again, lime is one you can do to flavor. If you really love lime, then it's something that you can add more of. So I've got 2 half limes here. Get some juice out of that. There we go. Our lime and our Bragg's aminos or soy sauce or light soy sauce. That's completely up to you. And a tablespoon of that. Okay, and this doesn't have to be whizzed or just simply stirred. It's going to be enough for that one. All right, so just mix thoroughly. Now all you're going to do then is the mussels, when they're ready, we're just going to put this in a big bowl, pour this over top, and that's it. That's how easy how this is. So we're just going to heat it up, simmer it, and then pour it over top of these wonderful mussels that are steaming. So I'm not going to heat that up now because we would be here forever waiting for everything to cook. But I am certainly going to enjoy mussels at about noon today. All right. Now, let's go on to something that caused a bit of a stir with some of our UK consultants who were at the Hampton Inn Palace, or Hampton Palace, not Hampton Inn, Hampton Court Palace in London. So, better just turn this off. There we go. Don't want to have those completely ruined. We'll restart them in a minute. All right, so it is cookie butter or biscuit butter. And I've got two versions of it. Now I've made one here earlier, which you saw on Facebook. What this is, it is, now I'm sure everyone's had this cookie before. Here they are. This one or one similar. I know if you're flying certain airlines, this is a cookie of choice that you get with your coffee and in their lounges. But it's it's a wonderful, it's European. It's got a little bit of spice to it already. And they have the story about how the biscuit butter or cookie butter, as we call it, got made was a competition, a cooking competition, a cooking show. And, you know, a home cook like many of us entered the show, and I don't remember, it was maybe 50,000 or 20,000 or some crazy number of competitions entered this competition, and they chose her for this biscuit butter. Now, simply, you can eat it by the spoonful, and I know a few of us have when we were in Hampton Court, because it was a commercial company that was making the biscuit butter. Or you can actually put it on those same biscuits or any other biscuit. Steve's asking for this. And you can, there you go, you can eat it as a cookie. All right, so it is beautiful. You can make a sandwich with your cookies. Now, you don't have to use these types of cookies or biscuits. There are, you know, you can do this with Oreos. If you're doing it with any other cookie, just make sure that you take the cream filling out. I know that's terrible, but you got to take the cream filling out when you're making it. So you can make a sandwich cookie like this. There you go. All right. And there's lots of other recipes you can use these for. You know, I know there's some very creative bakers out there. You can imagine what you can use with this cookie butter. So what it is it's made from those cookies. So it's not just used on those cookies, it's made from those cookies. So what I did is I took, I've given you a recipe for 2 packages of these. So you get 2 of these exactly. And I think in Australia, you might be able to see them in the international area. I think they're called speculas or something like that. Excuse me if I've just slaughtered that word, but so 2 package, and then you're going to blitz it. You're going to grind, you know, grind it down to a very fine consistency. Okay. Finer than graham wafer crumbs or graham cracker crumbs for those in Canada or US. You want it really fine. Then I've used 5 teaspoons of our pumpkin pie spice. So you want to up the flavor because it is a butter and you want it to have more flavor than the cookies. Well, that's a little bit more. So we would put 5. Now this isn't a full recipe, so I'm going to put about 2.5 in there. Okay, then you get your stick of butter. Again, you want your condensed, sorry, I'm going to do the non-dairy version. That's the one I'm doing here, not the dairy version one, because we try to have as much of that as possible. So with this one, you want to do a tablespoon of molasses. Now I found a fabulous sorghum molasses at one of the markets out here. Oh, it's just killing me not to just lick. Oh well. I'll do that anyway. I love molasses. So this is beautiful sorghum molasses from Ohio that we brought with us. Yum. Now I'm going to be flying. And what I've used instead of butter, I'm trying out this recipe for my family, because a lot of my family is lactose intolerant as well. So is coconut butter or coconut oil. So a couple tablespoons of that, but remember I'm only doing a partial recipe here, so I'm only going to add a tablespoon of that. And then what you would do is you would blitz that. Now I've just used my food processor for fish, so I'm not going to dump that in, but you would blitz it. And then just put in a little bit of water as needed, just to get it like a peanut butter consistency. And then you want to spoon it into the jar. Now this makes a great holiday gift this year for those people who are, you know, artisan gifts are really cool this year. They're actually making a huge comeback for gift giving. So actually put this over here. I'm running out of room, but we'll find it. Huge for gift giving. So hopefully we found a couple between the last mega demo and this one of some unique gifts that you can give to people. Of course, this company does, and a couple other companies. I think Whole Foods has their, oh no, not Whole Foods. What's the other one? Trader Joe's also have their own, but you can make it at home and you can control the ingredients with your inspiration at home. All right. What time is it? We've got 20 minutes for artisan sodas, shrubs, and our fabulous agua frescas. All right, so the first one. Now pomegranate is hot, right? Everything pomegranate. So what I suggest is, we don't have pomegranate molasses yet. I'll say that, it is in my radar. I picked up one, actually both of them, I got them in Europe. This one is in well, we got it at Harrods when we were there, but it is so wonderful. It is a really thick, no sugar added pomegranate molasses. And this one is from a, like a co-op, from in the Middle East, and this one again has no sugar added. So you really want to look at if it is just boiled down reduced pomegranates to make the molasses, because that's really traditionally how it should be. So two fabulous ones. One is more like a syrup and one is a thick molasses, almost like a fruit chutney almost. It's that thick. So fantastic. So what I've done is, of course, pomegranates quite known in the Middle East, and so are roses. So I have done a pomegranate rose syrup, and it is absolutely fantastic. Now what I'm doing with these simple syrups is, instead of buying the syrups that you can with your soda stream, like these, instead of buying the syrups like these, you can make your own. And that's all the rage right now. Artisan sodas are, like I said, the shrubs, all of these things are, you can control what types of your sugar you're putting in. Of course, it's a soda. It is simply, you know, the basis of a soda is sugar or sweetener, and some flavor. So I prefer natural flavor. So we've got pomegranate and our rosé vinegar in here. Now we've used a cup of cane sugar. So I've used organic cane sugar. You can use date sugar as well, or coconut palm sugar. Is really good. This is a good brand. The a couple other brands have, they don't dissolve 100%. So if you're looking at a coconut palm or a date sugar, make sure you test it first so it dissolves. But I've used organic cane sugar in this one. So a cup of water, 2/3 cup cane sugar, and 4 tablespoons of pomegranate molasses, 3 tablespoons of our rosé vinegar, and of course the rose sugar for glass rimming. That's something that's very special and you can't miss that part out. Okay, so what you do is you get your glass. We'll use a fun glass here. And I'm going to rim it with sugar. Okay. I'm going to use the rose sugar. I'm just going to make a little slit in the strawberry. There we go. Just to get the juice on the glass, just give it a little squeeze as you're running that around the glass. Because strawberries work really, really nice with rose sugar. And where is that? There it is. Beautiful rose sugar. Just put it on your plate or whatever you're using to rim. Whether it's a bowl. Look at that. That's gorgeous. And I'm going to run that around there. Get a nice even coat. Okay. Now these are very refreshing. Sodas are, of course, everyone knows them as very refreshing. And I'm going to get a couple of tablespoons. Out of the drawer here. Now to make a simple, just a simple soda, I'm not doing anything, anything too wild and crazy here. I'm just going to put in about 4 of these. Now what I did was when I was making this, I'll do one more. When I was making this, you just put it on in a pot on the stove, and you heat, and you're going to bring it to a high boil. Whisk, reduce the heat to medium-low, and simmer it. And let it cook until the syrup is reduced by half. That's really what a simple syrup is, and that's what we're doing here. So it'll be about 10 minutes. Then you're going to strain anything through. So you put it through a fine mesh strainer. So this one, this is a great strainer for doing any of your shrubs or simple syrups when you're using fruit. It's great. There we go. And of course now over to the soda stream. And I am the least highly skilled of the family. Everyone else seems to do this one a little better than me. All right. There we go. Oh, what did you do? All right, let's try this again. Oh, Steve, what did you do in this? All right. It just went through a cleaning process before we... There we go. All right, let's try this again. Yay, disaster shot. All right. I knew something was wrong when it didn't snap it like that. And we want to take it to between the second and the third bubbles on there. For those of you who use the soda stream, don't put it up top like that. It's very difficult. I'm going to move it down here. And now I'm just going to simply mix. You can use soda water. You don't have to have a soda stream there. But there you go. A very refreshing, lovely, trendy soda instead of what you get. Let me just cut the top off that. Instead of what you get out of a bottle that costs you $2 or $3. Now you can make them at home and have your own flavor. So cheers to a really refreshing summertime drink. All right. So that's one. The other one that I did, sticking with pomegranate, is the pomegranate mold. So again, heating it up just like you would a mulled apple juice or cider or red wine. And so it's 1 cup water, 1 2/3 cup cane sugar, which I used, 4 tablespoons of the mullings of the pomegranate, so either one of your pomegranates, and then a tablespoon of the mulling spice. Just throw that all into a pot and reduce it down, and then strain out the mulling spice there. And it is absolutely fantastic. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And of course, you can use it for cocktails too. You know, great in a vodka spritzer or a martini. Now, then I wanted to try something a little bit different. You know, we of course, these ones are easy to do, or easy to, you know, think of because they're fruit, syrup, and that's quite normal. But I wanted to try our chocolate powders and see what those would be like. So I started with the salted maple and made a simple syrup with salted maple. And I can just imagine this in a bourbon or a whiskey. Of course, in the soda is fantastic as well. So with the salted maple is a cup of water, an eighth of a cup of cane sugar, and a third cup of your salted maple. Now you're going to reduce this down, medium heat. You're going to bring it to a high boil, and you want to whisk it. You want to keep it smooth there. So you're going to make a chocolate sauce or syrup, and of course you can use that for baking. You can use it in your baking. You can use it on ice cream. You can use it in a lot more things, and of course in a soda stream as well. So that is the unbelievable salted maple. Now we've given you some other recipes that we've tried. So this one was fantastic. It's salted maple, bourbon, and soda. So you make the whole, just like I did with the pomegranates, but you add a splash of, or an ounce or two, whatever you want, of bourbon. And it is beautiful. And of course, add your ice for those. Now, not to be outdone, we couldn't have dark chocolate or milk chocolate without using the white chocolate. And I apologize those of you from the US or Canada who do not have this one yet, but this is the pavlova. And I'm not sure if you can see that, but it makes a beautiful thick syrup, the pavlova white chocolate sauce. And this one is fantastic with gin. So the whole concept, gin and soda with pavlova white chocolate, is fantastic. So a cup of water, an eighth of a cup of sugar, and a third of a cup of pavlova, identical to the salted maple. And then of course you just simmer and bring it down till it's a nice syrup consistency. All right, got some Christmas ideas for your holiday entertaining drinks. Who's going to be the bartender this year? All right, apricot apple pie syrup. I love this one because I got two things out of it. Now, I don't like to throw the fruit away, so I either eat it or I make something with it. So I did an apple apricot. And what we have a juicer, so I just juiced the apples, so beautiful fresh apples, juiced those, and we used oh, it's not on there. I think it was 2 cups of apple juice and 10 to 12 dried, oh no, the apple juice was in the cherries, never mind. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so 10 to 12 dried apricots cut into little pieces. And of course your water, your sugar, and then I've used apple pie spice because it's just beautiful. So country baked apple pie with your apricots. Then you're gonna, of course, bring that to a boil and reduce heat just to dissolve the sugar, and then go down to medium low. And what you're going to do is let those apricots really plump up and tender. That just takes about 10 minutes. And then you're going to take it off the heat and you're going to mash the apricots with a fork. Get them all mashed up, let that rest for about 10 minutes. So you really got this wonderful thick puree. Then take your mesh sieve and you're going to strain that. Now what I did afterwards, I went, oh, what am I going to do with all these lovely, lovely apricots that taste and smell so amazing? And what I did was I made apricot logs. So this is where the dukkahs come in. And I love apricot logs. So icing sugar, I did mine without the condensed milk. So I'll send out the recipe there. It's not on the recipe sheets there, but simply, now these ones have been out of the freezer. I put them in the freezer. So icing sugar, the dukkah, and then rolled them in parchment or wax paper, and then roll them on the outside as well with a little bit of the dukkah. So this one is the key lime dukkah. I've also done it with the lemon myrtle dukkah. You can see there. And they are absolutely fantastic. Now these, of course, are a little bit soft now because they've come out of the fridge and out of the freezer, but a great way to use up the puree from the apricot syrup. All right, now apple cherry, let's see how much time I have, 5 minutes. Okay, great. Apple cherry and blackberry syrup. I love this because we use our apple or cherry blackberry. Let me just grab it out of the back of the cupboard. So the apple blackberry syrup, or vinegar. You can use this one here. And apple juice, so freshly squeezed or freshly juiced apples is what I used. And I used a cup of dry cherries. So a really, look for the really dark, tart dry cherry, similar to what we use in our Black Forest dukkha, and some agave syrup. I love to use the other alternative sugars because they're lower GI. So the palm and the date and the agave are lower GI and not so sweet, which is great. And then I used a tablespoon of mulling spice. So again, same thing, create your simple syrup there. And all right, and of course, this one is fantastic with a hot buttered bourbon, which we've given you the recipe for playing with that one a little bit more. I've given you a couple other recipes I'm not going to go through, but 2 of them I do want to because I've only got 5 minutes left. Now this one, these are called shrubs. Okay, what it is, oh, I can't remember the year. I'm not very good with my history, but it is in the time period where the early, I don't know, say 1800s, probably the same time period, that people loved a refreshing drink, but fruit didn't last long. So what they did was they preserved their fruit in vinegar and sugar, and it made a lovely drink there. So they used, they're called shrubs, and now in the world of cocktails, they're back. So what you do is you chop up your strawberries. So for instance, this is a strawberry shrub. You chop it up, and I put in, I think, a half a cup of OMG or a half a cup of caramelized balsamic. Now you can use, which I used honey caramelized balsamic, and it just is amazing. Now you don't want to put these in the fridge. Then you top it up with, you can use cider vinegar, but I used our Sauvignon Blanc vinegar, which is really quite a tart vinegar, and you top it up with that. And you simply put it, not in, in the sunlight, but you put it on the counter. So I put it over there, and you shake it once a day. So for 5 days, you leave it on the counter. The importance is leaving it on the counter for 5 days. Now you don't put the sugar in yet. When it comes, when it's ready after 5 days, then what you're going to do is you're going to put it on the stove and add the sugar, bring it to boil over high heat, let it boil for about 5 minutes, making sure that the sugar is dissolved and the strawberries are mashed. Remove it, and again, use your strainer and transfer the liquid to another container for 2 weeks. And there you have it. That is what a shrub is. Okay, it is vinegar, sugar, and fruit. So it can be used with lots and lots of different berries and different fruits. Then when it comes to the agua frescas, well, they are often used with melons. Melons don't really work well in the other forms, but an agua fresca is great for melons. Now, I've also done one today with jalapeno. And so jalapeno, I made a jalapeno simple syrup, and where's that one here? Beautiful. So you just chop up your jalapenos, wear gloves or don't touch them. Don't touch the insides. Chop them up, and seeds and all, and you put them in the syrup, in your sugar. Now I used one jalapeno, ratio is 1 jalapeno, half cup water, quarter cup cane sugar, a tablespoon of agave. Okay, I really want to get that Mexican influence in there, and 3 tablespoons of mojito sugar. There we go. So I'm bringing the lime flavor into it. You can use real lime as well. So I've used mojito sugar, and so I've got the mint. Now it is just gorgeous. You'd think that it'd be super hot. It's got a kick to it, definitely. And again, you make a simple syrup with that. But what you do is then you mix it with watermelon. So I've juiced a watermelon. Now you can do that in your food processor, easy. We just have a juicer, so that was the easiest way for me to do it. And then what you want to do is about a cup of your watermelon, a couple tablespoons of your lime. Where's my spoons here? Oh yeah. Now I tried one with 1 tablespoon earlier today, and it wasn't enough. So this is a teaspoon, so I'm going to give it a good 4 of these to give that, maybe 5. All right. Now, if you were adding a spirit to it, certainly tequila would be one that you would want to consider, or gin. And I'm going to add my soda. There we go. And of course some ice, and I would top it, garnish it with a piece of watermelon. And this is really, really refreshing. Oh, lovely little kick to it, but not hot. Now I know I'm 2 minutes over, guys, but be patient with me, because one of my favorites, they're all my favorites, as you can tell from Facebook, I can't let this one go, is the Raspberry Rose Vanilla Riesling. So you take Riesling on the pot, so you have to, on the stove, so you have to be very, very careful. No splashes, especially if you're on gas, which I cook on gas. You want to be very careful because you're cooking alcohol. So half a cup of Riesling, a cup of raspberries, all right? 2 tablespoons of rose sugar and a tablespoon of vanilla sugar. All of these flavors blend so well together. And of course, I've got pictures of that one on Facebook. And basically what you're doing is your medium pot, you're going to combine all of those ingredients all at once. And you're going to bring it to high heat and then reduce the heat back down to medium-low. And let them cook the raspberries for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then when they're soft enough to mash, let them sit for 10 to 12 minutes and just mash the raspberries, strain them out, and you get this beautiful drink. And you're not going to drink it like this. You're going to top it up with soda. So about a cup of soda and about 2 to 3 or 4 tablespoons of this, and it's again so refreshing for the holidays. All right, let me go to my final pack for Australia. Is salted maple chocolate powder, maple balsamic vinegar, and smoked Shiraz peppercorns. So you'll see in the recipes that smoked Shiraz peppercorns, smoke is hot this year. We're always ahead of the game, but smoke is one of the flavor forecasts for the year, as well as Asian. So I wanted to share those two with you so that you would be on trend or trendy, setting trends this Christmas holidays with your friends and family. So the final thing that I want to say is thank you again for taking time out of your busy evening, day, morning, whatever time in the world it is for you. And for those of you who are considering joining your inspiration at home, now is the very best time. We have a fantastic sweet pack that you get for free when you join in December. However, you also get one of these fabulous packs in your kit for joining within 24 hours from this mega demo. So whether you're watching it later today, you still have time to take advantage of that special. And why I really want you to consider this opportunity is we have had amazing 4 years from start to, well, almost 4 years from start to where we are today. Our growth has been incredible, record-setting. We've got 6,000 consultants in 7 countries now, which is absolutely fantastic. People are setting some amazing personal goals and reaching them. We have consultants that or leaders in the company that have been with us from day one that are earning over $10,000 a month in income, and consultants and leaders that leaders in the company that have been only a couple of years in the company, and our November checks that we're writing are incredible, well over the $5,000 to $7,000 range. However, what's in store for 2015, you just have to be a part of. We have so many things that projects that we have on the go that will be completed for our February's Leaders Convention, and also our US Convention at the end of February and March, and some that are going to be launching, which are, wow, at our August convention in Australia. So now is the very, very best time to join. We have an incredible January planned, double host benefits, which is always fantastic. And then for those of you who want to get started building a team, watch out, our most incredible recruiting, sponsoring promotion where people join in droves. Last year we had 600 people join within a 3-day period. And we're looking to see some amazing records from that promotion as well. So I really challenge you to think about it. You've got some fantastic free products, huge bonuses. If you look at that, it's the bonuses are more value than the kit itself, for the amount of product that you're getting there for free. So I look forward to hopefully welcome you in December and watch your business prosper in January. And thanks again, everyone. I hope you enjoy these fantastic recipes. I know what I'll be having on Christmas Eve. All right, bye and Merry Christmas to everyone.